Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I haven't been on for a while. Uh, this is me, Dodi, and you Dodi's page. Uh, Happy New Year. Um, I'm sitting in my truck. Um, I'm a truck driver. I'm a professional artist, and right now I'm watching the birds. I've been taking care of the birds. I'll show you. They're right outside. I put some feed right outside my truck, and they're out there. They're out there eating. A bunch of pigeons. Actually, it started with one pigeon, and it turned into more. Watch, here comes another one. Here comes another one. Watch. Did you see the bird? Look, there he is. Ah, he's flying around. See, there he is. He's just right on the other side of the truck. And he'll be coming over here for some food in a little bit. I'll get back with you in a minute. Hold on. It's bright, so I gotta put this on here. Uh, Somebody says, "Hi, Dodi. I've been waiting for your stream." Oh, Spirit. Hi, Spirit. How are you? I'm sorry. Um, yeah, well, thank you. God bless you. And how have you been? Okay, look. Here they come. I'll talk while we watch the birds. And that white thing you see is a glare. So here, I'll move it this way so you don't see that. Yeah, they got some. There's a bunch of little birds just coming and eating. And you see that where the pigeon is, right, pretty much right there. It's kind of yellow. Those are worms. They're dried worms. They put all this other stuff is like bird feed. Little tiny seeds. But that where you see the shadow of the pigeon right there, those are worms. I bought a bag of. It's from it's bird food, and they're like dried worms. Oh wow, okay. Give these guys a little bit different flavor. So far, the little birds have been eating it, but not the pigeons. The pigeons have not. And I had to crush them up because they looked really disgusting. I mean, like, I wouldn't want to eat those things. Birds think different than we do, but I'll get to the live in a minute. So, oh wow, look, he's eating it. He's eating. No, that was his tail. But he's right there. He's just not eating the worms. And I had to like step on the worms and crush them up a little bit because they were just a little bit too big for the birds. But the little birds, they just started chowing down on that. But the pigeons, so far, nothing. Um, Let me see. Wait. I'll tell you how I've been in a minute. Samai Kaduri? Oh, let's call her. I love birds. And yeah, it's real pleasant to watch. And this morning, um, a two crows came around. I'll show you where I'm at in a minute. We'll watch this bird for a little bit. And see, they're very, very cautious. I mean, the little birds are way more faster and way, way more cautious. But even these birds, they've seen me. They know, these pigeons, they know me already. And any little tiny, any little tiny thing uh, makes them blow up. They have been sitting on right up there. In fact, there's one right now, if you can see it before that truck gets in the way. Okay. Yeah, so they all sit on top of that light post. And sometimes, where's it? Sometimes that light post too. I've never seen them sit on that light post. Well, yeah, I did. Did yesterday. That one right there. But basically, that's where they all sit. That truck's in the way. Right there, see? And then I'm at the Loves, it's a truck stop. And yeah, it's getting kind of hot in here, so I'm just going to take my shirt off. It's kind of chilly outside, but it gets real hot in here. And, how can I say it? It's a beautiful day. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Thanks for, waiting for me and your kind and loving hearts. I'm not looking the best these days. Uh, no, they're still not there. Not to mention, I also have, watch me show you. See, I have some water and some feed right there. I know they've been at that because when I put the water this morning, it didn't have not one little seed in it. But now, so they've been drinking the water and they made a mess. They just like, the first time I put those, I didn't put no rocks. And it's like there was water all over, the seeds were all over the place because that's plastic. So when the birds went and jumped on it, it just like flipped. I'm sure it spooked the heck out of them. So I had to go get some rocks to put them in there so that, they'd be a little more stable. But the other morning, see, I'm in my truck and I'm in the back, right? And let me see, let me give you the view from the back. See, I was sitting in right here, in my bed. And, I'm praying and everything. And I look, and the pigeons were on top of the hood. They came real early, like 6 o'clock in the morning or something. And yeah, the pigeons, they were right there just standing. Then they came and ate. They wanted breakfast. So I wasn't going to get on. I was going to just stay off for a long time. But there was this one guy that kind of sparked it back up for me, I guess. His name is SRG7th. He commented on one of my older videos, and I've been talking to him through the comments. And he's a really good, YouTube friend and everything. And I thought, you know what, I still have friends on YouTube, and, I can't just, it's not fair to you guys for me to just tell you I love you and then just leave, you know. I've done that too many times in my life. So, um, I thought, okay. Not to mention, I have news, you know. This is the company I'm going to be working for now, Earl. I'm in my semi, but I'm not driving it right now. I'm going to be driving my Silverado. And I'm waiting for them to call me today because, well, let me put it this way. My Silverado was in storage for like 3 to 4 years. I would just get it out, use it to go buy groceries and for the weekend or something. That's it, you know. And being that I was so tired of driving, I don't want to come and then drive around in the pickup truck. So it didn't get used a lot. Like my Harley has been sitting in storage. Like Harley says, when are we going to go cruising? But now it's kind of a little too cold. So, yeah, you know. And then I rode my Harley, you know, wow, a few weeks ago. But I forgot to unplug the battery. So now I know the battery's dead on it. So I forgot to do that. And by that time it was already too late. But I've been going through changes, a lot of changes. Um, I made not an announcement, but I made a decision that I'm not going to go over the road anymore. You know, I'm not going to be driving to Timbuktu, Ohio, or to, no more Pennsylvania, no more Mount Henner, or, you know, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to be driving my pickup truck, and I'm just going to be planted more than, out on the road. If you guys have seen my, videos, that I recently had posted, my little dog Abigail, she passed away. So by that, I didn't realize how much it would impact me. I didn't realize that, with her being gone, I didn't have no motivation. It was a change for me. I had to look to see what I was doing, and I didn't want to go out and being in Kansas or Minnesota, or especially Minnesota, without her, because things were, it's like a big missing part of me. So I had to just, let that pass. Oh, there he is, 7. Hey, Dodi, what's up? Yeah, we've been talking. That's pretty cool, huh? Hey, hold on, watch. These are the birds. They're coming back. Oh, good. They're coming back. I've been basically feeding these birds. There's some things you're going to freak out on, but I hope you can hear me okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay, or, if I got the volume or whatever. I got this headset because it works best. The other ones, they cut off the phone mic. That's why I use this one. It's an old wire one, but that's okay because it works. And so you're just driving pickup trucks now? Not yet, not yet. That's the company I'll be working for. But actually, I'm still my own boss, which that's what I like. Okay, my pickup truck's been sitting in storage for 3 years or four, a long time. I bought the truck, I traded my Camaro in so that I can make some money, with my truck. Well, make a long story short, a little bit of heartache with family members, it didn't work out. So I'm not going to hire my big brother to drive my beautiful truck because he wanted to still smoke pot and try to tell me what to do. Like, no. So I told him, no, you give up that pot or, it's done, it's over. He didn't want to give up his pot. And okay, bye. So the truck sat there and sat there. And I'll just put this on so you can see the birds. So the truck just sat there, and I would drive it from time to time. And I was working this truck, this semi, and it was making a lot of money and everything, but my pickup truck isn't paid off. That's the only thing that's not paid off. So I ended up, after Abigail passed away, um, like I said, I didn't want to drive this truck anymore. It's just like, it's not that I don't want to drive it. I just didn't want to go out to these far places out right there in Booney Land, Wyoming, or, to these beautiful places that we would go. They would just remind me of her, and I would just break down again. So I had to finish that grieving. I had to complete, you know. Uh, I'm not grieving anymore. I'm not sad. I accepted everything when someone you love. And yes, she was a dog. But you know what? I was closer to her than I am to my family members. Like I said, my brother, I tried getting him a job to help him. He was just being a pain in the ass. So like, and, it just didn't work out. And I'm thinking, you know what? We're not kids anymore. I don't got to put up with your crap. So, like, you know, bye. I still love my brother, but I found out I love my dog more because it's kind of hard to say that, but because I can't measure my love. But I was closer to my dog than to anybody. She was with me. A lot of people, when they have pets, they go to work, they leave their pets at home, their dogs or cats, birds, whatever, and they're gone for like 8, 10 hours, and then they come home and they eat dinner and play with them, then they go to sleep, and then they get up and do it again. So the dog like the pets will be alone for a lot of their time, but they're in their home. Well, not Abigail, because this is our home, and wherever we went, we were together. And oh, they're there. There's a whole bunch of them. Ah, see, that truck just passing by. Just look, here they come, here they come. They're hungry, little guys. This is what I've been doing. So anyway, my truck, my Silverado, being that I'm going to put it to work, let me back up a little bit, like about 6 or 7 or 8 months ago, I knew I was going to start driving it. So I went and had oil change and, the filters, everything, right? Costed me almost $2,000. I mean, they did some real good stuff to the transmission, change the fluids, everything, right? Well, it stayed parked for another 6 months or so. Well, once here they come back, they're hungry. These little guys are hungry. They crack me up. Like, oh, that's food. So anyway, I go and get my truck now. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to give this truck a break. Not to mention, the company I worked for is different. It wasn't D&E anymore. They sold out to a corporate company, and they were firing, and you know, everything was changing. The mechanics were all pretty much gone except a couple. The managers of the mechanics, one of them got fired. The other one just like said, "Heck with this, I'm leaving." So I ended up, once I paid off my truck after the big breakdown of $13,000. Once I paid that off, I'm done. You know, I'm getting out too. I mean, so many drivers and everything, they were bailing. They were like, I'm not going to work for this company because they're not like D&E was. And I felt the same way. I felt like I wasn't being taken care of. Like D&E, when I was driving with them, they took care of me out here. If I was, you know, if my truck needed something that I wasn't unaware of, the mechanics would find it and they tell me, yes, you need some seals, you need this and that. And so they kept me going. And let me see who's just popped in here. Uh, oh, hi, Dar. How are you? What's up? Dar says, so you're just, uh, so hey, do apartments have the right to throw everybody out for a reason when there's no management? I don't know. I don't live in an apartment. I don't want to live in an apartment. But yeah, Dar, how are you? Happy New Year. And see, I got friends here, and I love you guys. Honestly, I love you guys, you know, unconditionally. Um, but see, once my little dog Abigail died, it was a big hole in my heart. And, you know, I just stopped. And then I just stopped driving. And I was crying a lot. And then I even made a video where I was crying. I want to take it down, but I'm just going to leave it up. I'm good. I'm telling you, Dart. So then right after that, I got the flu. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to, because I'm quitting D&E. Abigail passes away. And, you know, I'm clear with my payments and everything. But then Abigail passes away. And then winter came and it got colder than heck. I got the flu. So I'm sitting in my truck at a truck stop with the flu, not working in this truck, and I'm just sitting here. And, you know, I put the truck up for sale, tractor and trailer, didn't get any bites. Got a lot of people that love the truck, but they didn't want to pay. I mean, they want something for nothing, you know. So I ended up, you know, just still mourning and everything. And I had to get better because when you're sick, that sucks. So I finally got better. And then there's some things that, you know, happen spiritually and everything. But that were really good too. And so I ended up pulling out the pickup truck. I'm just going to drive the pickup truck now. Well, being that I had just fixed it like 8 months ago or something, ready to go, the engine light goes back on. I'm thinking, this truck just doesn't want to work. You just want to sit in storage and, you know, like be lazy. And I'm, nope, this truck, this truck here has been busting his butt with me and Abigail. And, you know, time to put the pickup truck to work. So it's in the shop. And this was before Christmas. In the meantime, I'm not sick anymore. I had to sell the trailer to make ends meet because all my savings is gone. And so I had to, I still got savings, but I'm like, you know, I'm between jobs. And I found this company. It's called Furrow. Um, I looked for a job driving the pickup truck, hauling, like, what do you call it? RVs. But they wanted me to drive cross country in the pickup truck. Nope. That's why, I mean, that's what this truck does, go cross country. I didn't buy the pickup truck to go cross country, hauling RVs to these, you know, people that are well off or something. Like, no, I'm not going to bust my butt and my pickup truck for that. So I said, forget that. So I ended up not getting that job. And I found this job. This job is just in the Southwest. Perfect. They're out of Phoenix, California, Southern California, um, Texas, that's Dallas and Houston, and Oklahoma City. Perfect. Yes, I drive these states. So, and more than anything, they're starting one in New Mexico, but they're not going to start until, you know, what was it, December 17th. I was still in, we were still in November, so I had to wait. Okay, that's the job I want. I went, got hired and everything. You know, they wanted to see the truck, everything. Not to mention, I got the papers and everything, the title for this truck, the semi. So it's mine. So I ended up getting hired. Now I'm going to go work, except they're not going to start in Albuquerque because they're just starting in, what do you call it, in New Mexico, because there's like a big empty space. Phoenix, you know, Texas, Oklahoma, California, and New Mexico was nothing. They said, okay, we're going to start in New Mexico. So I thought, good, you know, I got to go prepare my truck. I got everything. The truck is, you know, insured, fully insured. Um, Everything's nice and everything. Oh, bummer. Here comes this guy. He's backing up in here. He's going to mess me up for the birds. Don't park here. Go park someplace else. Ah, here he comes. Anyway, so I go and take the truck in the shop because the light went on, right? Not to mention, I had a little time. Holidays came around. Oh my goodness. And, you know, it was Thanksgiving. Okay, take off. And the weekends, then, okay, there's nothing. Okay, they haven't even started yet. Okay. I go and take my truck in. I'm ninth in line. Christmas came, you know, and now New Year's. And they finally call me, okay, your truck should be ready today. I hope so. So if I get a call, you know, it might end right quick. But even then, if it starts today, I'm probably not going to start working until Monday. Um, yeah. Anyway, so there goes another week, another 3 days off. I don't need more time off. I need to get to work. So anyway, I'm doing fine. Sending you hugs. Well, thank you, Dar. And you know, and what's your New Year's resolution? I'll tell you that in a minute. Um, Find a message I got from. Anyway, there's some things that happened to me spiritually. Uh, see, how can I set this? I guess first of all, I'll start when I was mourning. When I was mourning, if you guys don't believe that spirits are out there, or there's a God, or you know, this is not religious at all. I'm going to show you something that is, I mean, Archangel Michael, okay? And I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'm going to tell you what happened. It was amazing. Okay, now let me just organize stuff a little bit. I'll just put those shirts right there. Okay, now see, this is my briefcase. I put things in here. Okay, and see, I got my candles and stuff, my books and everything. Well, see, I put these out. These are little napkins that I put out, right? And this is how I do it. I'll get this candle. And I'll show you, this is how I do it, okay? And you're gonna freak out. I was crying a lot because you know, my little Abigail, I loved her so much. I finally got over it, so, and I had, I had it up like that, and, I'm missing a part, hold on. Ah, hold on. Close this, put this back up. I'm setting it up for you the way I meditate, okay? And it was like this. Okay, where's the candle? Okay. Now you see that? See how it's not exactly smooth like that? See that? The candle, it's in there. Well, I patched that up because what happened was, I'm meditating and praying. And by the way, the blue candle represents Archangel Michael. He wanted a dark blue one, but I can't find a dark blue one anywhere, but that's a blue one. Well, anyway, I'm meditating. And I had, my crystals and stuff right there. I have crystals. And I had them sit around like I always do. And I had Abigail's collar right here. Well, that the candle, it burnt a hole. Archangel Michael burnt a hole through the wax, through there, right? I patched it up. And it ran all over on this, and the wax even came down. And I was wearing shorts. I'm not wearing shorts now. And I'm sitting cross-legged. Let me see, like I am here, like I am now, right? I'm sitting. And the wax even came and touched my leg. And, that's what, because, I'm just watching it. As I'm meditating, I had my eyes closed, but I don't know how I can't explain to you how I saw it, but I had my eyes closed. But, I saw the wax just come down, and it spilled all over here. And there was a lot more, and it was all over her collar, and it was like, I'm like, see, Archangel Michael, he hears you. Because I was crying and stuff. But anyway, I thought I'd show you that. So if you don't believe in Archangel Michael, he's waiting to hear from you guys. Honest he is. And he's going to come to you in, his own way with you. And so anyway, I used to be a warrior of light. I just know, first of all, this world is changing. And I went through a portal, so I am now in the fifth dimension. And things are going to be changing for me a lot. Anyway, it's not just all of a sudden, boom, like you walk into a different room. It's gradual, okay? But what happened was I ended up going through the portal. And then, yeah, and I had the flu. I was sick. But I ended up going through a different dimension in reality. And then just recently, this happened right around Thanksgiving. And then just recently, about a week ago, I'm not a warrior of light anymore. I didn't quite understand that. I thought, like, what are you trying to tell me? Well, I'm a master of light now, because for all the things I've been taught and everything, all that, like I said, I can't keep it in. I need to tell you people, everybody. And I only spread unconditional love. I can't, I don't want to spread hate. I don't want, if someone were to bump into me and start cussing me out, I would send them love. I would send them hate right back. And that's what I've been doing. And it's kind of like what Jesus was trying to teach everybody. And I know a lot of the things that he's taught now. And that's what happened. So I've been healing. I'm doing good. I'm awesome. And I was thinking, I know there's something I got to do today since I've been waiting. And I've been drawing. I've been drawing like crazy. Um, I'll show you my artwork in a little bit. So let me see. Let me read these things here. Hold on. That guy, he parked right there and kind of messed me up with the birds. And then his thing he's going to turn on and scare the birds. Oh, man. Anyway, that's okay because they already ate. Let me see. I'm going to read this stuff. Spirits. I got to go, Dodi. I have a dentist appointment, but I'll see you later. Ooh, be careful with the dentist. Happy smiles, happy smiles. And, thanks, love you, Happy New Year. Thanks for coming in spirit. And Noah Butterfield. Hi, Noah, how are you? And Seventh said hard. And yeah, life sucks. It sucks only if you make it suck. If you gotta think positive. If you think positive, positive things will come around you. If you think negative, negative things are going to come around you. And I want to tell you a few things too about what's going to be happening in life. Does change quickly. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a few things about what's going to be happening in this new year of 2026. But okay, let me turn on my computer for my art. Let me put this up here so you got both hands. And I was hoping if I don't get my truck today, I'm gonna have to go up because I'm in Albuquerque. I'm gonna have to go up and get my what do you call it? I'm gonna have to go up and get my my Harley and ride around my Harley because it's just cold it's like about 5 to 8 degrees colder over there, and it's 60 degrees here, so it's not comfortable to ride around in the Harley when it's cold, you know. But anyway, let me show you my artwork. It's so cool. I am like totally ecstatic. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, okay, I'll show you my artwork. Okay, because I got a bunch of it. Okay, I'm gonna start off with. I'm gonna put this right here so that you can see it, so I can see it with you guys. That's my new truck logo. I'm probably gonna change trucks to transport, and the tire tracks. I gotta redraw those. I just drew those in to see what it would look like. I like it. I drew all that. Let me see. I drew like the pipes and stuff. I drew that with a computer. I came out so cool. I love it. You know. And yeah, see my stacks. Those are my stacks. And it'll be DLP. Probably transport. I'm not sure. If you guys want to throw me some ideas of, trucking business, because I have 2 trucks. I have my semi and my Silverado. So that's why I just put trucks. I couldn't think of a name. If you guys want to throw some names at me, and, I thought express, I thought transfer, well, I'm not an express person. I'm not a. So anyway, I know I got trucks, so that's why I put that. That's just one. I did that the other day. And I did it in one day. That's my own logo. See the LP. That's where I got that from. I just created that where it's more visual and not flat graphics. See, I was working with the ideas, and that kind of looks like a dirt road, but it's just too muddy, ugh. I tried doing that, with like street and then chrome, but that, I'm not really into the 70s right now, so, which it's cool. I like it. But, I'm sorry, there's a glare on here. And then, and see, there's trucking, see, DLP trucking. And then that's what it looks like in black, reversed. Okay, here's my artwork now. See? I think I've showed you some of these before. And I've been putting this out. And see, this one's a cool one. It's a little teddy bear looking at the stars. you know. And there's a little bird behind him. So anyway, there's a little rocket. Oop. And then a little truck. Oh, come on, cut it out. And then there's some of this art you've probably seen from a long time ago. And there's Super Trooper. Oh, stop it. And then there's this one. I love this one. And I'm going to start making these, like, what do you call them? Emojis. So they're going to be different. Not just blue, they're going to be a different color. But they're going to have cool little hairdos. They're going to have different expressions, not just with the eyelashes, and they're going to be shaped kind of like that triangular shape. So that's what I'm doing with those. That was like a test. That's like my pilot right there. That was a test one. I liked the way it came out. And see, I did it from that, see? And it's my creativity that's working. This one here, posters that I'm doing. See, I put I am love, but then I don't like that one. I put I am essence instead. That, I gotta change that because that looks too muddy. It doesn't look crisp like it's supposed to. See, that's what the picture is right there. And then I am truth. That's another poster. And then these are some of the pictures that I've had, you know. And believe it or not, these are me. If you don't believe me, I know I don't look that pretty. This is AI, okay? I've been working with AI, and AI just, you know, you can adjust it where it looks like, you know, you look, you just have so much, what do you call it? I'll show you a live picture in a minute. Believe it or not, that's me too. All of these pictures, that's why they're all blonde. This one, oh my God, this one is like, that's that's AI. That's what AI did. See, that one is beautiful. I'm like, oh my God, that came out so cool. I will show you these. Watch. I'll show you these. See, these are some that I've been working with. I've been working with the AI. Oh, okay, and there's some cartoons, you know, and I love that one. And that's some more emojis that I was trying with these emojis, and I really didn't like these ones. I like them more with being, you know. But anyway, these ones are pretty cool. You know, I like these guys. They're funny. But I think I like the green one of you. The green one? What green one? Okay, hold on. Anyway, that's what these ones are, you know. And then there's the teddy bears. What green one are you talking about? The green one? That one? See, yeah, because they're all me. They're all pictures of me, and you can just adjust the color and everything. This one, I'll show you in a second. Hold on. Let me get there. Let me finish showing you the artwork. And yeah, that's these guys. Those are funny. I really like those. And then the teddy bears. I have a bunch of teddy bears. I have, what, 46 teddy bears I'm going to be doing like this. And, you know, these are cool. I really like them. And up, that one. I had a big poster of that one watercolor, and I lost it in storage. I love that one. That was so cool. And then, see, this one's not quite done yet. Just trying different things with them. And then there's that one there. That one's cool. That one, I was doing it, and I just couldn't get the right skin tone, right? The skin was, I was totally screwing up on the skin, the wrong colors and everything, until I just stood back and I'm thinking, that's perfect the way it is. You know, that's a skin tone. So it came out, that one came out pretty cool. And even has the little chrome balls on his hat and his ears. So that one came out really cool. And then that's another one I'm working on. That one's going to be cool. And see, that's like AI. That's what AI does. That's my representation of AI. Because it's more computer, but yet you can still draw with it. And so I don't like that one. It looks like he has a beard and he's just a little kid. You know, see, so there's like a whole bunch of them. This one is the cool one. You know, and then let me see. Okay, let me go back. Okay, see, like that one right there. Okay, let me show you where that one came from. Remember that picture, okay? Remember that picture. That's AI. and I've been working with AI. AI is so cool to work with. Okay, here's one that this one totally blew my mind. Totally blew my mind on this one. You're gonna freak. And this one even has blue eyes and everything. I don't have blue eyes, but like, oh my goodness, this is what you can do with AI. Okay, here's a quick sample. That's me, right? That's a picture of me. There it is in AI. See, see how, see how it works. And I'm thinking, wow, you can really work it good, and it just changes things that are like, wow. Okay, again, look at, well, remember that one right there. Oops, that one right there. I'm gonna find the one that I got that one from. You're gonna freak because you're gonna think, no way, that doesn't even look like that doesn't even look like you or nothing. Um, where are they? Where is it? I'm scrolling down. There's that one. There's that one. Um, hold on. It's gonna take a little bit because I got thousands of pictures. I'll show you another sample. No. That's not it right there. I'm sorry. Um, I'll get to you guys in a minute. Hold on. Okay, is it that one? Nope, that one has glasses. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm almost there. Like I said, that one just. I was. Excuse me. I was so shocked when, like, how you can work with AI and make it look really, really, totally. That's why they're all blonde because I'm blonde. I'm not taking anybody's picture and putting them on here. I'm not taking kids' pictures and, calling them my own. No, this is like everything I do is comes from me. I got a lot of pictures. Oh my goodness. See, see, I got a whole bunch. We'll just scroll down with me. Nope, not those. Oh, good, the guy's leaving. See, I don't know if you know, but there's my Harley. Oh, I love my bike. I'm gonna be riding it tomorrow. Um, where is it? Where is it? I'm just scrolling down to. I got tons of pictures here. Hold on. Well, Dar, if you're in here, how have you been? Are you still in Scotland? Uh, I know I haven't heard from you because I haven't been on, but love you. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're having a good holiday season and everything. And it feels good to talk to my friends on YouTube. See, because, oh, by the way, here's my pickup truck too. Let me see. That's my Silverado. It's in storage. Oh, no, it's not storage. I even let go of that spot. I'm not going to. Here's my truck right there. But I'm not going to be using that spot anymore. So it's not going in storage anymore. Where is that picture of me? Okay, not those. That's one of them. Okay, but Close, 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 close. I know I'm close. Okay, where is it? Okay, here it is. That one there. See how, you see that picture? You see that picture? That's a picture of me, okay? I'm wearing a white top and I got my hand and everything like that. Okay, what I'm going to do is, hold on. I'm going to snapshot it and put them side by side for you. Okay, I'll put it like that. And there's that one. Okay, I got that. Now let's go back to that other one where that I was telling you about. I'm like, whoa. So AI is so cool. I like it. But you got to do it right. You can't just, you kind of got to know the computer. Okay, here it is. Almost, almost. Okay, now, you saw how that picture was, right? Look, that's what that picture was. And I cropped it so you know you don't see that part. But you'll see what I mean. And let me see if you can get without the glare. Okay, there you can see it better now. Okay, you can see how that is? This is what AI does. See, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know I could do that. And it's like getting that part right there. Just that part. Because you see the light source, the hand, the light on the nose, and, you know, right here on the hair and stuff. That's like right there. I'm like, and it just smoothens the skin. And let me see, like my mouth, right? My mouth, it straightened my mouth and put me like really beautiful lips and everything. I'm like, I didn't know I could do that. Like, so yeah, you know, it's like, and I was like, okay, like there's some that are obvious. Oh wait, I wanted to show you this one the same way. I wanted to show you that one. Okay. Um, this one, let me see. I know I took a picture. It's probably on this. Yeah, because I know I saved it and it's on here. I'm not going to get through that right now. I might not be able to show you that one. But, and that's a pretty picture too, the one that I just showed you with the AI. I look like, well, this one, for example, you know, like I said, this one here, that's a good example of what I did and what, you know, I just put it in AI and revised it and everything. And it changes my look like wow, you know what I mean? See, the hair, you look at the hair, right? Look at the hair. The hair, this one you can see it's more obvious with the top, everything, right? And the colors and everything. So that's what you can do with AI with. So don't think, you know, it's going to come and take over the world and, you know, robots and, you know, they're going to, you know, kill us all and everything. No. be real, okay? Um, I like, I, I think I like the green one. Oh, okay, good. The birds are back. The birds are back. Yay, the birds are back. See, they're just munching down. But yeah, I'm a master of light now. And that's what Jesus Christ is. He's a master. He's a ascended master. And but he's like, um, let me put it this way. Here, as we live in reality right now, we have this thing called seniority. We have a hierarchy, right? Okay, like say for instance in the military, you start off as a private, then you become a sergeant, then a major, then a lieutenant, then a, and it just goes on. Admiral, then or military, right? I don't know all the ranks and everything, but it just goes up. And like general, right? And then 4-star general, 5-star general. So anyway, that's where we're used to categorizing, the level of our expertise, our, what do you call it, profession, like me, I'm a veteran truck driver. I just didn't start last week. I've been doing this for 35 years. So I know a lot more than these truck drivers do. Um, I'm not going to go and specifically say which one I know more, but a lot of them, most chances are, haven't been out here driving for 35 years. Um, Maybe some have. I've met some that been out here for, with one of my friends. He was driving. He worked for D&E. He still does. Uh, he's in his 80s right now, and he's still driving. And he got an old truck. It's his truck. He's not going to drive one of these new automatic trucks that are, cameras inside and cameras outside, and all this electrical device stuff. That's basically what the older generation of the truck drivers, we don't do. We usually drive our own trucks because we've been through millions of miles for years and years and years. So that's kind of like a hierarchy, right? And that just goes with my experience. Well, like what Jesus is right now, he's watching over the world. Not only the world, but who knows where, the universe, I just know he's watching over the world. His time is over. And I don't mean that in a bad way. What I mean by that is when he was walking the earth, Jesus Christ, 2,000 years ago, he was learning what basically where I'm at right now. And I've been doing this 3 years. Well, yeah, it basically, where I'm at, where he started at. I'm right there. I'm walking the same path he was walking. You guys can walk the same path too. Now is the time to start walking the same path Jesus Christ was walking. Um, well, see, there's some birds right there. What is that? Oh, they're there. They're on the other side because the food is here. But watch, they'll come around. They'll come around. And see, they're cautious. Those birds are cautious. But anyway, that's what like Jesus Christ is right now. So obviously he's more of an elder than I am. He's more experienced. Like I'm more experienced of these truck drivers than most of them because I meet them, and yeah, they're some of them are in their 20s, 30s, and you see all kinds of truck drivers, and I'm not going to judge anybody by their experience, but more than likely they haven't driven millions of miles like I have. Um, Nobody's here on this side yet. But yeah, we're bird watching. Okay, guys. Excuse me. Truck stop bird watching. that's, that's what I should call this video. But okay, see, Jesus Christ was in the Pisces era. He was in the Pisces era. And he's coming around. Watch, they're coming around here, those birds. They're walking. Look, 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 look. Oh, you didn't see it. Jesus Christ his era was the Pisces era. And that Pisces era is over now. See, there they are. They went around. See how they kind of came from the other side, and now they're going to be like, okay, I think I'll just mosey on over there where all the food is and eat some food. But see, right now we're in the Aquarius. We're at the beginning of the Aquarius era. And who's going to be in charge? And that's going to be probably for the next at least 2,000 years. So you're not going to see um, the way things were of trying to, be, what do you call it, woken up as to what's going on. Because you're going to see it with your own eyes. But right now we have a choice. If you do want to see it, it's now's the time to board the train. Because if you don't, then you're going to be stuck in that reality of doing what we've been doing, and until you finally realize, oh, this is how life works. And because right now the one who's going to be in charge is not Jesus, it's going to be Joseph. Uh, Mother Mary and Joseph, if you remember them, they were the parents of Jesus. Um, Joseph he's the keeper of the violet flame. And the violet flame, purple, violet, is all the colors are sacred, by the way. But the violet flame is like magic. It's peace. It's harmony. It's, you know, peace, and peaceful, calm, tranquility. And that's what we're going to be going through, because that's what the fifth dimension is. And now that, we've gone into the 2026, 2026, from here until 2030 is going to be able to be the time to get to change. Okay, do I want to stick to my old habits, or do I want to start learning this new technology of AI? Do I want to start, excuse me, being being a better person with myself, taking care of myself and everybody? Well, I'll tell you how that works. The way that works is it's all up to you. You're the one in control of your life. not the president, not the king or the prime minister, or not the landlord, not the police officer. You're in charge of your life. So the decisions you make, it's going to be full circle. If you're going to think bad things are going to happen to you. If you're going to think hard times, you're going to go through hard times. If you think uh, love and harmony, and you're going to get a lot of love. You're going to get a lot of, you know, good stuff coming at you. Everything's going to be uh, har- harmonic, like kind of like a song. You like an orchestra. Like if you, it takes a lot to be in an orchestra. But if you're that one violinist that don't know the cues, or playing off note and off timing, you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb, and you're not gonna be frowned upon or hated upon. You're gonna be disciplined. You're gonna say, "Hey, no, that's not how you do it. This is how you do it." And it's just about learning, okay? Because there's not going to be no hate. There's not going to be like, "Oh, you suck, get out of here." That's not going to be like it is. That's not how it's going to be. It's going to be like, "Oh, okay, you need help with this. Okay, this is the way you do it." And when the tumba ends, you'll be able to play the tumba before the tambourine, before the all the other instruments come in, and they're coming around again. They're, they're flying around me, the birds. So that's what the fifth dimension is, okay? And quick, I'm just giving you a quick rundown of it. Because I've had a lot of training for the past, 3, almost 4 years. Nothing but training and training. And, I can't just put myself away because of my own feelings, because it's not just about me, it's about you guys. And I don't want you guys to end up going through, dying and going through life again and struggling and learning all over again because you know you're being hard-headed, or you're being uh, stubborn, or you don't believe this and that. You got to open your mind, open your heart, open to the world, right? That's what's happening. I'll give you an example. Okay, it was SRG I was talking to earlier, or yeah, I've been talking to him through messages and stuff. Well, see, there have been traditions, there have been ways of life that have been going on for thousands and centuries, thousands of years, thousands and thousands. And where are they now? Of course, time changed, we evolved, things, we're not going to stay with a horse and buggy. No, we're going to learn that there are phones, and there's, you know, things that would make us produce more rapidly and evolve, right? So we don't have the horse and buggy anymore. We have, uh, cars now, automatic cars. Now things are going to be, now in 2026, things are going to go just like the computer. Because I'm sure you're all adults here. In the 70s, there was no computers. There's no iPhone. There was no internet. But then people, around the 80s, 90s, it started coming, and all of a sudden, just recently in the past 10 years, past 20 years, it just skyrocketed, right? Now everybody has a look at me, a phone holding in my hand right now. That's what I'm talking about. It's just zooming up. That's what's going to happen with transportation. We're going to start seeing flying cars. We're going to start seeing uh, transportation where we can get from here, New Mexico, to LA or to New York, not in 12 or 2 or 3 days. Well, we can get there in like about uh, 10 minutes. Yeah. In fact, if you don't believe me on that, if you look back when this country became independent, the United States, it was, who was it? Paul Revere. I don't mean Paul Revere and the Raiders, the band. I mean Paul Revere. You know, um, he ran somewhere, right, and shouting out, if one candle is lit, you know, they're not coming. If two candles is lit, they're coming. The British are coming. The British are coming. So that was by horse. That was like that. Now you can pick up a phone. You can call your mom, your friend, or make an appointment for a hotel, from the United States to Germany, like that. So see what I'm talking about? Communication has, like, you would think, how Paul Revere would think that's impossible. I can't ride my horse that fast. But he was thinking with a different mentality. Right now, you're thinking with a different mentality is our trucks, our cars can't go that fast from here to, and I'm talking taking material items, uh, things from here to over there in seconds. That's what's going to start happening. That's the fifth dimension because it's through thought, it's through your mind, it's through your, the, let me put it this way. It's so hard to explain, but I'll put it this way. Everybody wonders, and I've seen this for years. I grew up thinking this: how were the pyramids built? You know, when they were built, there was no machines that can put it up. Man didn't build it by himself. It had to be aliens and stuff. You want to know how they're built? Trust me, I'm a master of light. I've been trained. I know a lot of this stuff now. They were built through sound. Sound. That's how the pyramids were built. And they weren't built in the desert. Back then, they haven't moved. They haven't moved an inch. What's moved is the scenery around them. Because when they were built under more like a tropical, more like foresty area. There was plants and trees and animals, and it was beautiful. But now, because of man has, for thousands of years, there's been many wars. There's wars going on right this very day, and they destroyed all that. They destroyed all the plantation, the plant life, all the. So anyway, that's how it was built. It was built through sound. Um, anyway, And you would think, how can sound build that? Have you guys? If you guys don't believe me, no way is this, you can build a pyramid with sound. You would think, no way. I'll give you an example. Ever hear about these people? They have glasses. They're crystal glasses, right? And this guy starts singing, and the pitch of his voice is so clear and everything, the glasses break. That's sound, that's frequency. That's what that is. That's how they were built through. They were built through sound frequency. It wasn't through water, it wasn't through you know, machines or, equipment or nothing. That's how they were built. Oh, I scared them myself with the phone. See, the birds are very, very cautious. I'll just leave them. They'll come back for more. See, wow, they came back fast. Look at that, there's a whole bunch of them. There's a pigeon there. He's right there. See? He's coming, he's coming. But anyway, that's how they were built. There's more pigeons flying around me. I don't want to move the phone too much, but yeah. Anyway, that's what we're doing. We're feeding the birds today, okay? But yeah, this is the fifth. We're in the fifth dimension. It's up to you. Why did it go out of focus? There. It's up to you if you want to be in the fifth dimension. Because if you don't, you don't. And I'll give you another example. Like these places that have, these cannabis, these, the laws, the man's laws have made marijuana legal. So, and then the doctors and everything say, well, yeah, it's legal and stuff. That's why I don't trust doctors that much. Because there's good ones and bad ones. But see, what these people do is they're not, how can I say it? They're not right. Because right now what's happening right now, the pot, right? The pot plant, the marijuana plant, has been abused for the negative, not for the good. Because it used to be the marijuana was a spiritual plant. Way back, millions of years ago, and it was a tribe that came to this planet. I call them tribe, but they're not a tribe now. They're called tribes now, but back then it was a species, and they were the black species, the black, what we call black people right now. They were the Orion, something like that. Not the Anunnakis, they were like the Orions or something. And they were very, 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 very good people, like Jesus. They were, like, the ancestors still are. But, as they were, and this was millions of years ago, and they resided in Africa. And what happened was and they were here for millions of years. They were here for a long time. And when they basically the ancestors and left, it got hijacked that plant because there's a bunch of other plants too that no longer exist. But like the marijuana has existed somehow, it's still here. But what that happened, the bad ones, the dark ones, started turning that stuff into voodoo, and that's what that's why and the ancestors of the Orion, I think I know it starts with an O, or a Connie, something like that. Anyway, please forgive me for just you know mispronouncing that. But the ancestors were not happy at all because that doesn't represent why they came. They came here to bring love and peace and harmony and everything. But they were hijacked uh, by the dark ones, and that's why there's this thing, this black magic we call voodoo now. They started using it for uh, very bad intentions and stuff, and stealing souls and all this stuff. So that's what happened with that. See, and now that let me back up a little bit. And now that these doctors and medical professionals and politicians have decided, oh yeah, let's make drugs legal. Let's make this, so that there's not a lot of crime anymore. Just like liquor. Liquor, li- liquor is not supposed to be legal because alcohol is not good for you. Alcohol will destroy your body. Anything that destroys your body, look at it this way, is not good for you. So they legalize liquor, alcohol, okay? So all that stuff, all the liquor stores, all the marijuana shops and stuff, they're going down. They're not going to survive. If you smoke pot, if you drink, I strongly advise you quit that habit because this is what's going to happen with the pot. I'm speaking mostly about pot. What's going to happen with the pot is it's not going to be potent anymore. It's going to be like smoking, a leaf from just a tree, just a Chinese elm or, you know, like, and you're not going to get high off it because that potentness is going to be gone. There's not going to be any more, uh, it's not going to exist anymore. So what's, because that right there, by it being, uh, like LSD like, people have taken it to a whole new level of bad. They've taken it to like, well, it's okay to smoke pot. I won't get arrested or nothing. That's not the point. The point is it's damaging your body, your soul. Okay, in other words, we don't, our soul doesn't. Let me put this right. Our body we have is borrowed. Our our soul is the one that really is in charge of the body. It's not the body is in charge of the soul. The body's just going to be here for a while. And with all the social, the all this that goes on in the world, everyday life, that's like a bunch of bodies saying, well, this is good, that's good, that's bad, that's good, you know. But your soul is like invisible, and your soul says, no, it's not. That stuff is not good. So that's why you got to listen to your heart. Okay. These birds, there's a lot of them. They're just coming in. I love this. I love watching the birds, you know. But anyway, yeah, these, especially between now and 2030, if you hop on the train, you know, stay off the tram, hop on the train, because this train is going to take us someplace. And a lot of people are not going to get on because they don't like to be they don't like to be uncomfortable. And it's hard to get out of your comfort zone. Like, yeah, well, I drink beer, uh, I smoke cigarettes, I cuss and stuff. To me, that's normal. Like, no, it's not. None of that stuff is normal. It's more normal to be pure, to be, to drink healthy, clear water rather than contaminated that's been filtered and filtered and filtered. It's better to breathe clear air, not pollution. The same thing with your body, the same thing. And you keep the society these days of any country, I don't want to say any country because I don't know all the other ones, the society will tell you, well, scientists, this is proven by the FDA, and, or like, I'm a doctor and I got, 40 years of experience of being a doctor, so I know, and, it's not good to do this, and smoking won't kill you, marijuana is good for you. The guy doesn't know squat, you know, and because he's thinking scientifically. And another thing, I want to say another thing. This is what still cracks me up, but we have to go with what we see right now. Okay, we have been living in a third dimensional world. Okay, it's kind of like living in a foggy room. Okay, you're in a room and it's all fogged up. Okay, then you're going to realize the fog is starting to clear, and that's called the veil. Okay, it's starting to clear from around the earth. So all that fogginess all is starting to be able to get thinner so we can see more and we can see what's going on. Now, when you do that, you're going to see like, oh, that's what's going on. And okay, the astrologers, right? With that fog in the room, you can only see so far because you try to look in the sky on a cloudy day, you can't see because the clouds are in the way. Once the clouds get out of the way, you can see that the sky is blue, right? Well, basically, all that fog is starting to go away. And with this is what I was told. The astronomers these days, they have no idea what's going on. And I'm talking with NASA, with the James Webb Telescope, all these professional high-tech uh, astrologers and scientists and physicists and whatever physicists they want to call themselves. They're doing a great, great job. They're doing, they're on it. But they're in the same room of fog that we are because we can see them. they can see us. We comment on the phone or in the videos, they can reply or something like that. So they see us. So that tells us, okay, we're in the same reality, we're in the same room. But once that fog clears, and it's going to be the fifth dimension, there's going to be more stars that, and more planets, more solar systems, more galaxies, more starships that would totally, be like crowded. Like, wow, I thought there was nothing be out there in space. There's going to be like, we're going to be able to see clearly what's out there because all the fog is going to be gone, and that's going into the fifth dimension. And if you want to stay in the room, the foggy room of the third dimension, have at it. That's your choice. Keep smoking, keep drinking, keep cussing, keep being mad and being broke and sick and hard times and stuff. That's up to you. Thing is, things are changing right now. We have an opportunity that we haven't had. And this is what Jesus was trying to tell us 2,000 years ago. But now, the reason why it's all happening now is because this planet, the Earth, is changing. The Earth is shaking off all this bad marijuana and stuff. Because marijuana, it's a plant. It's not, it's been abused. And it's not going to be abused anymore. It's going to be sacred again. And it's going to be for, you know, pure intentions, not to get high or think that, well, yeah, the doctors say I can smoke pot, like, no, none of that crap. All that stuff is going to be gone. But a plant like the pot, like the marijuana, that's going to be treasured instead of abused, right? And it's going to be glorified just like all the other plants are. And, like the mushrooms too, and whatever other plants, the poppy, what are the poppy seeds or something? I don't know a whole lot about those kind of things, but all that stuff like that, the liquor, because like right now, okay, wheat and barley. See, they're destroying the wheat and barley to make beer. But what does beer do? Liquor, moonshine, whiskey. What is all that? Bourbon. It gets you drunk. It gets you in fights. It makes you abuse, your spouse. It gets you sick. It causes addictions. That's what people are doing to the barley and the wheat and stuff. So, and barley and wheat is part of our food. Um, See, all that's going to end too. All that is going to end. The wine with the grapes, all that's going to end. There's not going to be no more liquor. But I'm saying, oh, bummer, dude. Like, no. It's like, would you rather be broke and cold and sick and throwing up and, hurting and, wondering where you're going to get your next meal from? Or would you rather live in harmony? And where anything that we need is going to be provided for us. Anything. All we would have to do is think about it. That's all we would have to do is, well, I need a place to live. I need to move this stuff to, you know, to Spain so people over there can and stuff, and it'll go with it'll it'll disappear from where you have it to the people where you send it off to. It's magical. You think I'm saying a lot of baloney stuff. Nope, nope, nope. It's true. All this stuff is happening. Just like I showed you earlier in this film about the candle, when the candle just, the flame just went through the side of the candle to burn a hole. So, because Archangel Michael saw me crying, and Archangel Michael touched me, and basically he says, you know, I feel your tears. I hear you, your tears, the love that you had for Abigail. I feel that, you know. So there's my message to you there. And he did that. So it's going to be more chaotic at first because the people aren't going to want to give up their smoke shops. They're not going to want to give up their beer. They're not going to want to give up their mansions. They're not going to want to give up their smoking, their cigarettes and cigars and stuff. You know, so they're going to fight, and let them fight all they want. If that's you, I'm telling you now, change. Now is the time to change. Otherwise, you're going to be going through this in the next life. You're going to die from cancer. You're going to die sick. You're going to get in fights. You're going to get beat up. You're going to get sick. You know, just all kinds of bad things until you finally learn. And like I said earlier, when you're in an orchestra and you don't, and you're the violinist or the pianist or the drummer or whatever, the tuba player or the saxophonist, and you're playing the wrong notes, you're not going to be, you know, beaten up and thrown out. You're going to be taught, like, no, you don't do it like that. You know, you do it this way. This is the way so that we can all be in harmony. So I hope I made myself clear. Where are the birds? They're not around anymore. Oh, yeah, they are. They're right there. Where are they? Ah, you didn't see them. There was some there. They're popping up. They're eating today. Yesterday, for some reason, they weren't eating. Anyway, that's what I am. Hi, Penny. I wasn't looking at this. I was looking out, you know. And how are you, Penny? Haven't seen you in a long time. And just saying hi. Gotta go. God bless. Well, Happy New Year. And anyway, you know, if you guys don't want to, oh, that was a hawk, but no. See, I'm watching out for the birds too out here. I'm feeding them. Because like some crows came around earlier and I chased them away because the crows are more dominant and they won't, um, you know, they're more aggressive. So like, no, I'm feeding the little birds and the pigeons. The crows, they can fly farther and go find their own food someplace. I don't have nothing against crows or nothing, but anyway. Yeah, if you don't believe me, that's fine. You know, that's up to you. It's everything's up to you. Your life is up to you. See, they're around me. There's some other birds. Is that them? Okay. Yeah, those ones are a little bigger. Those aren't the same birds that were here. Yeah, see, those birds, they're a little bigger than the ones that were eating here. The ones that were eating, I could tell those are different birds. Where'd that school of birds come from? I don't know. Because they're bigger and they're more of a darker brown, more of a rich color of a brown. The other birds that I was that I've been feeding, they're small, more like finches. Yeah, but these birds are. I guess they heard the news. Hey, there's food. There's food. See, okay, there's one. Let's see. What. See, you see him there? He's underneath the truck. See those little birds? They're a little bit. They're teenier birds. You know, they're smaller. And they're lighter color. Those birds there, I don't know. I've never seen those birds come around. But yeah, if you don't want to believe me, it's up to you. You know, I can't make you believe anything. I'm a master of light now. I'm not a warrior. Um, and but with that being said, because I thought, well, what's the difference between a master and a warrior? Okay, between a master and a warrior is when I was a warrior of light, I was still learning, and I would, you know, if there was conflicts or anything like that, you know, it was kind of like up to me to go and put out the fire, you know, go and like calm everybody down and like, no, we shouldn't be fighting. And I did that. I remember I was at a truck stop and I stepped out of the store and right in front of me, right in front of the pumps, this one guy just nailed this other guy, just punched him in the face. And these were pretty big guys. I'm only 5 feet. I got right between them. And I told him, hey, no, don't be fighting, don't be fighting. And so I put myself out. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid that I was going to get hurt because that was the last thing in my mind. My mind was saying, stop the negativity between these two. And I did, you know. And that's what, like, basically, you know, like a warrior. So now that I've become a master of light, it's not that I'm going to jump in, you know, like I don't have to anymore. Of course I will, but if I have to. The thing is, I've been taught a lot. And by now, if I don't start doing what I'm supposed to be doing, communicating, teaching everybody what I know, then all this is for nothing. Um, and it does me no good. It does nobody any good. So I gotta tell you guys. And it's not up to me to try to make you believe or try to persuade you or anything. None of that. It's just right now being a master. And I'm still learning how to be a master. I'm just at the beginning stages of masterhood here. But to me, that is like an honor, you know, to be like where Jesus was at. And like, wow, you know, what he knew, he was trying to teach everybody. And they resisted. So now I have it easier thanks to him. And all kinds of others that have helped me. Archangel Michael has been my trainer. And not only him, but, you know, Mother Mary, Jesus himself, beings from other planets. I mean, so many others. They've helped me out to become who I am now. And, you know, there's so much that, you know, that we have to learn. 3 years of, at least, I'm going to say 3.5, almost 4 years, of being bombarded with information every single day. Yeah, okay. Uh, it's kind of like if you go to college and, you've taken all the courses for 4 years and you finally graduate. Okay, that's where I'm at right now. Okay, I'm not in college anymore. I'm not a, what do they call it? Um, there's a word, I keep forgetting that word. I'm not in college anymore. I've already finished everything as far as that particular college goes. It's not that I'm saying I know everything, but everything that I know is I need to spread out to you. So it's like I just walked out of the door of college. Like, okay, if you're a doctor, you go to college, you go to med school, you got your PhD in this and that and the other, and okay, you graduated, you don't go back to college. No, you venture out on your own. That's where I'm at right now. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to go with this masterhood. I just know I'm going. I just, that I know. I'm letting it, you know, Jesus take the wheel, kind of like that. But Jesus is saying, hey, I'm not driving anymore, you are. So, uh, it's fascinating as to what's going on. I'm not famous. I'm not, you know, talking out of, a bunch of baloney and bullshit and everything. My identity is everything's going to change. Everything in my life is going to change. I want you guys to change too because it's going to change for the better. It's not going to change for the worse. It's going to change for the better. So if you got hatred in your heart, if you got anger, if you got prejudice, if you got, jealousy, uh, let it go. Just, okay, tear it up and watch it float down the river because that river is going towards the shore. And if you hang on to it, you're going down with the shore too. So, you know what? Tear it up and let it go. All that hatred. And you know what? What's coming down? Beautiful waterfalls, beautiful springs, beautiful lakes, beautiful oceans. Everything is going to be happening. And it's going to be, in the next 4 years, it's open. The train station is open, but it's starting to close, okay? Uh, 2026 is going to be totally different from last year. There's another thing I wanted to mention that you guys probably don't know is um, these corrupt politicians and stuff. There's a lot of birds here. There's a lot of birds. There's a whole bunch of them that just came. Anyway, these politicians and these elites and stuff, some of them, and celebrities, and all these, some of them are being tried right now. Went out of focus here. Oh, there it is. Some of them are being tried. See how this bird's bigger than the other one? See, some of these birds are bigger. That bird right there, that's a bigger bird. See the size? Pelosi. So yeah, they went in on the action too. These are the little birds right here. There it is, focused. So anyway, all these are being tried right now. The media isn't saying anything because they don't want nobody to know that people like, and I'll mention a couple of names like George Clooney, Barack Obama, uh, what James Cooney or whatever their names is, however you say them. They're being, uh, some of them are being executed, some of them are being um, with the military tribunals. That's what's going on right now. And, they're not going to be in control of the government anymore. None of that is going to be. So if you want to be a leader, a, you know, but it has to be for the whole, for the goodness, the love, and for everybody, not just for you. So like Nancy Pelosi, she became a politician in her younger days, and she became becoming a multi-millionaire. Gee, I wonder how she did that, right? So she took a lot of that money, and sure, however she did it, but um, it's not that they're going to be judged. None of us are going to hell. There is no such thing as hell. But some of this stuff, we're not going to be judgment day. That's ridiculous. There's no such thing as, it's just that more like karma. It's called the law of the circle. If you do something bad, it's going to come down. It's going to come back around and bite you in the butt. But the thing is, right now, like I said, between now and 2030, so you better start waking up. Um, I'm just saying that date because I know that date. That's there's no specific date or no specific year, but we still got time for the train station to be open because that's when we can say you did really bad to someone, and you were mean, you were a horrible boss, you were, what happened here? You were a horrible boss, you were, piece of crap all your life, treated everybody bad, hated and everything, did bad things. Well, now's the time that you can be purified. You can start to purify yourself, and that way the karma isn't going to come back and bite you in the butt. That's what I'm trying to say. So open up your hearts. Pelosi is a scumbag, yeah, and that's like she did it to herself, and she made everybody, like under her power and stuff. All that. Right now, even Pelosi, right now, has the same opportunity to be a master, just like Jesus is, just like I am, just like you can be too. Because it doesn't matter. You could be Hitler and, kill millions or thousands of people. I don't know how much people he killed, but now is the time that to purify all that stuff. And sure, you'd have to go through, all the stages of purifying yourself. Love you too. And once you get in with the right like Archangel Michael, right? He trained me. You don't see Archangel Michael, but you feel Archangel Michael. But remember, we live in a foggy room, so we're not going to see him. But he's there. We know he's there. We know. I knew somebody was there when the candle, you know, when the flame burnt through the side of the candle. That, you know, I didn't do that. Archangel Michael did. How are you? How are you going? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you for coming in. But that's what's happening. See, so even someone like Nancy Pelosi, uh, she has the chance now to open up her heart, and but she needs to be purified. And like I said, that's how you guys need to do the same thing, because whether you make horrendous, massive mistakes and intentionally and everything, uh, now's the time for forgiveness. Now's the time to turn all that around. Hey, I'm sorry. I hated your ass because you're a piece of crap, and I still think you're a piece of crap, but that's you. I'm sorry. You know what? You cleaned yourself out. You didn't clean that person out. You cleaned yourself out. You know, I asked for your apology, and if they don't want to apologize, well then that's their choice. You cleaned yourself out. That's what I mean by start to purify yourself. So don't hate. Don't get rid of the cigarettes. Get rid of the bad, uh, you know, like my exes, right? I don't want them in my life because when we were together, we had great times, but then it all fell apart. Do I want all that to go back? Do I hate that person? No, I don't hate them. Even though I was betrayed and everything, you know what? I learned. I learned from that. Thanks for teaching me. Thanks for teaching me to see what it feels like to be betrayed. Because otherwise, I would have never known what it's like to be cheated on. I would have never known what heartbreak is. You know, so like that feeling that you get of heartbreak, of anger, of resentment. You feel it. You know what? You like I said, tear it up, throw it down that river, because that river is going towards the shore. And if you hang on to that, if I still hated my exes or what they did, then I'm hanging on to that paper and I'm going down the shore with you, paper. You know what I mean? And I'm going to try, I'm going to hate that person till the end of time. Well, you're going down to the shore until you learn, you're in the shore, like, why am I in here? Because you hate the person. Like, well, stop hating the person and you can get out. Oh, that's how it works. Start loving everybody. Oh, that's how it works. Start loving yourself first. Love yourself first. Not You got to take care of you before you can take care of everybody else. So, anyway, I love you so much. I love you too. I love you unconditionally. um, Let me see. Let me wrap this up here. One more thing, because I don't know how long I've been on here. An hour and a half. Okay, hour and 24 minutes. Let me wrap it up. Um, like for me, my identity, right? I'll put my video on it one of these days. But right now, the way you see me is, you're going to see me change. You're going to see me totally you're going to be like, wow, you know. Uh, but things are going to change for me in so many ways, inside and out. Um, so what you see now, enjoy. You know, it's it's fun. And age, there's going to be like, we're going to learn how to defy aging. We're going to learn how, yes, to look young again. Okay, yes, that's in the bag too. We're going to learn how to live longer. We're going to learn how to heal ourselves. There's this thing, okay, it's called, I don't know if you guys have heard about it. Okay, love you, have, no, something like, okay, love you too. There's this thing called med, blah, 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 med beds, okay? Like, what's a med bed? MEDBED, med bed. Um, See, they've been around for a while, except with all this corruption and everything, they haven't let, and these are from extraterrestrials, higher dimensions. We've been granted as, they're gifts to us, and they heal. You get it, it's like a capsule. You lay down in the capsule, and you heal whatever sickness you have, whatever um, disease or handicapped, whatever you have. It's going to start off with a sickness first. And let me tell you a story right quick. Um, the med bed, you lay in it, I don't know how long, but you will heal. If you got cancer, you're going to come out cancer free. If you got allergies, you're never going to have allergies again. If you got, uh, skin problems or, overweight or anything underweight, you're going to adjust to, the right proportion of your body. Okay? Um, okay, like say you're handicapped, you lost a limb, you don't have a leg, or say you're hard of hearing, you're going to be able to hear, right? You're blind, you're going to be able to see. You're going to be able to grow back your limb. But that's not going to come till later, so don't expect that anytime soon. If you look at a lizard, you know, you can, when I was a kid, there's a lot of lizards out there in the desert. There still are, but their tail would get cut off. A few weeks later or something, that tail will grow right back. Because they have this energy that heals them. That's what we're going to be granted with. Not right away. Right now it's starting with the med beds. The reason why they haven't put out the med beds yet is because the med beds would have been vulnerable to these people who want to charge people for it. See, in this, med beds aren't made for any person's for them to acquire it. It's not made for them to profit because they're not made for that. The med beds are made for healing, strictly healing. That's why they haven't been out yet. And hi, who is this? There was one person I met. Andrew, hi Andrew. There was somebody behind you. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, love. Okay, and let me see. Okay, Poloski. There was that one. 7. Yeah, at my crappy job now. Time to pull off. Okay, time to get back to work. Okay. And anyway, um, see, the med beds are made 1000% for healing. If you try to say that's my med bed, you know what? You will never be able to use it again because you, you're abusing it for that's the wrong intentions. So I don't know if you'd be able to use it or not, but with that mindset, you would be like that one in the orchestra that's playing real bad. You would be um, taught like, no, that's not how we do things here. So see, so the med beds are for healing, and they are going. That's a big deal. That is because there's so many people that are handicapped, overweight, um, smoking with bad habits. That's called addiction. Uh, Suicidal thoughts. All this, anything that's not in the health category, 100% health category, anything, the med bed will take care of it. That's what the med beds are. That's going to be gifted to us. It already is. It's just like I said, it's going to be coming out. That's going to be a big deal, and you guys are going to hear more about it. Trust me. And when we start to get to use those things, you have to be, like, yes, I want to go get better from my addiction. I got a cocaine addiction, or I got a heroin addiction, or I got a coffee addiction, or I have a lust addiction, or, you know, anything, right? You know, I got this myself, I got a broken back. Yeah, I have pain a lot. Thing is, all that's going to be going. That's through the med beds, but also there's ways you can just heal yourself. You don't need med beds. That's why I say hop on the train, open up your heart, start purifying yourself. And did I mention this world is shifting? That's why. Right now, the two worlds are close together so we can jump from one to the other. They're going to start to separate because they've already started to separate this year, and they've already started to separate before they get too far apart. That's why I say by the year 2030, they're going to be too far apart, so you can't go from the third to the fifth dimension. See, because it's going to be like, oh, I missed the train, like I thought I can make it, but okay. And you're going to be still living in the third dimension, getting drunk, smoking cigarettes, getting sick, having addictions, getting fights, hunger, everything. You know, all this. Get on the train now. Get in fifth dimension. Look it up. Look up. Type it up. This is technology. Type it up. Fifth dimension. How to get into fifth dimension. Ask Google. You can ask Siri that. How do I get into the fifth dimension? Boom. You're going to get all kinds. You're going to get messages like Oh my God, you're going to get a lot of messages. I'm one of your first messages, believe it or not. You tuned into me, you opened up your heart. Like, what is that person talking about? Your curiosity. My energy is going through this phone into your heart. And see, there's a few people that said, love you so much. That's the energy, right? I feel a love. Uh, what should you do for a subscriber? What should I do for a subscriber? I'll keep talking about what I'm talking about now. And, spreading my love. That's what I do. Okay. And I'm not trying to talk you into anything. I'm just trying to get you guys to open up your heart to catch the train because, like I said, the earth, fifth dimension, and third dimension are separating. Now's the time to get into it. Start looking into it. Get into it ASAP. Because the more you know, the better it is for you. And this world is ascending, and it might just happen all in a flash. I don't know. I can't tell the future. I just know a flash is coming. A flash is coming. And you better be ready for it. And I have a vaping addiction. Well, see, at least you recognize you have a vaping addiction. That's the beginning. That's the baby step of it. Okay, yes, I like the flavor. I like the smoke. I like blowing smoke out of my mouth or whatever, pleasure that brings to you. The satisfaction of comfort, all that. Acknowledge that. Like, okay, yes. Now, this is what you do. Let's say, for instance, I had a vapor, and I might get things wrong because I don't. So I don't exactly know what it's like to do that stuff. But I'm just going to imagine a little bit. Let's say I had a vapor addiction, right? Okay, I acknowledge that I have some sort of addiction. What is it? Oh, it's vaporing. It's blowing smoke. It's, having always carrying this little device with me. Make sure I have it clean or maybe not clean or, but yes, so that I can inhale and exhale. Like, okay, so that's what I think you do with a vapor. Okay, so but smoking doesn't hurt anybody, so I'm good on that part. Like, you know what? It's not about anybody, it's about you. Like, what do you got? Like, and I'm being like, okay, what did I got? If that guy gets cancer that just passed by me, that's not my fault, that's his fault. I'm I got to take care of me first. Okay, so I recognize I have a addiction. Okay, how would I stop that? What do I got to do? First of all, go in. Don't go out. Don't go to your doctor, call your doctor, like they say every time you watch TV or something. Call your doctor and ask for Zicmroid or whatever they got and tell him, like, no, I'm not going to ask my doctor or anything. Go inside you, inside your heart. Like, how do I feel with this? Okay, I feel good. I feel relaxed. I feel comfortable. I want to keep doing it. It's not always what you want. It's what's good for you. Not everybody likes broccoli. I tried giving it to my dog. She liked it when she was a puppy. She hated it when she was an adult. I love broccoli myself. Asparagus, cabbage, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, okay. Um, but anyway, you do things that comfort you. Okay, vaping comforts me. But it's, you know, something about it, right? There's just something about that that's not natural, that's artificial. Open your mind, right? Like, okay, I wasn't born with this. I was born with breathing air. You were actually your first breath, right? Your first breath. Wah! They spank you in the butt and you start crying because you suck it in and then you like get the lungs pumping. You know what I mean? That's natural. Like the doctor's never going to say like, well, congratulations, you got a new baby boy. Give him a vape. Let him start vaping. Bubblegum flavor. Like, see, it's not natural. It's not natural at all. Think of it like that. Well, this isn't natural. I want to be pure, pure natural, you know, from the ground up. I don't want to be contaminated. I don't want to be brainwashed. I don't want to think that I'm better than anybody. No, natural, pure, purify yourself. Get all the contaminations out. This vapor, this flavor, this strawberry flavor, or you know, spinach flavor, whatever you guys have it. I don't know. Okay, the flavor, like, well, that's artificial, right? No, that's not apple flavor because the apple flavor, here's an apple, and, that's a real flavor because the apple has the real flavor in it. This vape thing doesn't. That's artificial. Get that away from me. Okay? But I like the comfort it gives me. Well, if you like the comfort, start doing other things that will make you comfortable. Do you like to draw? Do you like to play a musician? Do you like to sing? Do you like to watch movies? Do you like to eat popcorn? Do you like to eat pizza? Do you like to, and so start doing, distract yourself from that, comfort. And it's, the vapor's going to say, oh, look at me, like, I can give you comfort rather than that pizza. You're going to say like, nah. But that's when your will, your willpower needs to be strong. You got to stay focused, okay? That's the whole reason why you're doing it, right? Not to just jump back into the dirty pond. You don't clean yourself up to jump back in. So have a strong willpower. Love you. And I hate vaping. I have never done it. Well, I don't know whether you have or not. Um, I'm just saying any addiction, any addiction. Say I got drinking addiction. Here was my addiction. I'll tell you my addiction. I love sweets. Well, what does sweet do? Sweets, you know, they create diabetes. They create loss of teeth, weight gain, health problems, right? And I was in good health. I'm thinking, you know what? I've been working out. I was in martial arts. I take care of my body. But damn, these donuts are good. This candy bar. Oh, I love candy bar. This, you know, cake. This like, yes, I'll have some strawberry pie. I'll have some pumpkin pie. But you know, I realized I got a loose tooth. You know, and like, dang, that tooth hurt. Like, oh, and it's starting to affect me. So I thought, okay, I got to start slow. No more donuts. I gave myself a chance. I didn't just cut cold turkey because then I knew I'd just jump back in the dirty pond. I'm going to eat. I'll still eat candy bars. I'll still eat pie. But I'm going to give up cake and donuts. I'll eat one slice of cake, not the whole cake, one slice, any cake of my choosing, and one donut, any donut of my choosing for in that 1 year, January 1 to December 31st. And I did this. I've done this for that whole year. People call it resolution. I call it, nope, I don't believe in resolutions. Well, okay, I would go and have a donut. I'm going to have, but I'd wait. Okay, come March, April, I've been eating candy bars more. I'm leaning more on candy bars now. So I don't need the donuts. Okay, but just stay away from the donuts. Just stay away from donut shops. Just pass them by. Well, okay. Now it's time for my donut. I went to go, I looked around for the best donut I could find. Best donut shop. And I took my niece with me. Yeah, let's go have a donut. She says, oh, sure, because she wasn't in on the plan. I went and I told her, well, you know what? I wanted you to come with me because I love you. You're one of my favorite nieces. And I'm going to have a donut for the year. So I'm going to love that donut. I'm gonna devour every crumb of it, right? With the company I had. See, so like, and once that was over, okay, done. I still have my niece, of course, but the donut shops, I'm good. Back to the candy bars, right? So like, okay, the same thing did with cake. The same thing. People would say, well, this is my birthday. You want a piece of cake? I said, nope. Why not? Like, because it's your birthday, not mine. Like, I don't want cake. You can't make me eat something I don't want. So anyway, that's a way to get rid of your addiction. And okay, it started with the donuts and the cake. There's two of them. Now, what else am I eating a lot? I'm eating a lot of pie. I'm eating a lot of candy bars, chocolate. Like, I had no more. So I gave up eating candy bars now. And I'll have one candy bar a year. That's it. And when I have that one candy bar, I'm going to enjoy my candy bar. I'm going to be, at a very, very comfortable, relaxed place. And I'm going to say, hey, I'm eating my Hershey candy bar. Mm-mm-mm. And you know what? Once I'm done, that's it. I gave it up because I'm telling the candy bar goodbye. I'm enjoying you now, but goodbye. You can't hang around. And that goes for the same thing with, what do you call it? Oh, yeah, I was going to get my jacket on. That goes for the same thing with emotions. Say, like I was mourning my little baby Abigail's uh, passing. Well, you know what? I finally had to tell this mourning, this grieving, and this sadness, you know what? I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of crying. I don't want to be sad all the time. Yes, I had my little baby. We lived our life. For 15 years, she lived with me. I enjoyed her and I love her, but I'm not going to continue this sadness that she's not with me anymore because I know she is with me because she came to me in dreams. She came to me in spirit. So she's like, why are you sad? I'm here. Don't worry about it. And I'm just telling myself, well, I'm sad. I'm sad. I'm crying. Like I finally had to tell myself, you know what? Emotion, I'm done with you. No more. I'm not going to be. And these are same thing like a candy bar or donut or a cigarette or beer or anything. Emotions are the same thing. Just like, okay, I'm tired of being broke. Okay, I'm going to go get a job. That's one way, but you know what? I'm going to go get a job that I hate. No. Start thinking that money isn't just everything. You have abundance. You have your health. You have a place to sleep. You have a place, you have food to eat. You have clothes to wear. Right? You can't eat money. You can't, just because you got, you know, uh, money in the bank account. Oh, all the birds were there. Let me check it. Just because you got money in the bank account doesn't mean you're rich. It just means you got money in the bank account. Because you could be, millionaire and be depressed. But anyway, I'm going to go. I'll show you guys the birds, what they did. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look. See, they're still flying around. Look. Oh my goodness. They ate a lot of it. And they ate all the worms. Wow. Anyway, this is me, Dodi. They're there. This is me. And I'll talk more. I gotta keep telling you guys this, so you're gonna see me more. You know. And anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for coming in. God bless you. Open up your heart. Open up. Don't let your ego and your anger and everything get the best of you, because your heart, you gotta go inward, not out. Okay? I'll talk to you later. Happy New Year. Bye.